Edgar Snyder.
Jim Rudolph. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Is Israel UJC involved in all that somehow? Are you sitting there?
Voluntarily.
Jimmy is very much
Injecting
involved
ourselves to many places and positions.
You know, Karen was more involved in the overseas allocation. Jimmy is more interested in the ONAT process as chair of the board, which is a different, it's not totally different, but it's a different stroke. Karen came with the agenda of only Israel interest, and Jimmy looks at the ONAT more as an interesting person.
Jimmy and I flew today from the United States, and we're looking and observing and seeing what goes on in people's homes to see when we go back home if there are things that we can do to be helpful, to send money and do other things to be able to help out.
זה ג'ימי,
Shalom.
וזאת סיגל.
Tell him my brother has money.
לאח שלו יש 9 ילדים.
Okay, Edgar, do you want to be
What's happening here, huh? What is her name?
רינת.
Inat.
רינת.
Shalom, Inat.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you. עכשיו כל הילדים. Okay, Edgar, do you want to be That's your food.
Some of the families, even when there's two parents, it's very violent families.
Violent.
That within.
Unlike the United States, where if children are, if social services sees violence, a certain kind, there is the mechanism for removing children if the child's life is in danger and things of this nature. I assume that that's problematical.
Right. No. We have the same thing. We have a law that allows us to remove the perpetrator. That if one of the parents is identified as the violent parent, he or she can be removed from the home. Leaving, because I mean, there's a certain absurdity of removing the child and disrupting the child's life from the home, even though you're right, it protects them.
Right. I came here along with Michael to see what the situation was in Israel. It's one thing for us in the United States to read in the newspapers about the situation. It's another thing to come here. We felt very strongly because of Jim, and Jim is our leader, right? The leader meaning he's the chair of the federation. But why don't you just tell us how the effect is? Because the most important thing that I took home last January was how the Matzav had affected the everyday lives of people.
Although the situation is very scary, but you don't really think that something like that could happen to you. It's not, I never thought, oh my God, I'm going to blow or something like that. But my mother, she always says, no, you can't go to Tel Aviv because it's dangerous. You can't go to that mall because, she's much more anxious about me than what I am.
On Friday, when you have to drive to a party in a nearby village, so there are two options. One, the parents drive. The second one is to take a cab or a transit. Who do you phone? There is a life in reality. When my son wants to go to a party, he phones this Ibrahim or Rubhi from Deir al-Assad, and this Arab driver drives them around. Jim, she wants also.
What does that say, Michael?
It says, thank you for helping us with building our fence in our garden. May you always have love in your heart. Come and visit us more, and may you have a wonderful visit to our Israel. For all the kids of Baruch.
Jim, she wants also.
וואו, זה אני צריך לשתות? ביי ביי!
I want everybody to know that this was right before the gun was shot, because I have the maximum amount of courage for the Israel emergency appeal, and I am willing to take a bullet. That's how important this work is. But in all seriousness, they never had any of these things before, and this is obviously, to me, it's pretty necessary type equipment. And although I wouldn't want to be walking around with people with, I'd feel a lot safer with this on than I would.
Especially in Carmiel, it's kind of a scare, because in the October Intifada, everyone around us is Arabs, around Carmiel. So every exit of the city there are Arabs. So we were scared to get out of Carmiel. Every bus that got out of Carmiel, they throw stones. Come on, if there's war, we're surrounded. Right. There's nowhere to run.
We take this responsibility very seriously. Edgar's going to talk about the dollars we've raised. That we come from 5,000 miles away, and we come into this room, it's like we're family. I mean, we've seen some of you before once or twice, but we feel so close with you, and even though we're so far away, when we come back, it's like, you know, you hug and you kiss us, and you feel so good about seeing us, and we feel so good about seeing you. That what you've been able to give us is just absolutely priceless. We just cannot tell you how much we appreciate it, what we get out of it, what we feel about it. It's terrific, and we just thank you very, very much for letting us come into your lives and letting us be a part of what you're trying to do here, and letting us come into, you know, your lives today and yesterday and tomorrow and every time we come back. That warm welcome that we get just makes us feel so good. I thank you very much from the people here as well as the people from Pittsburgh. Thank you.
My co-chair, Karen Shapira, everybody here knows Karen. She's unbelievable, does a fabulous job, and she's been great to work with in this. And Jimmy, honestly, without his leadership, it would be very hard to do this, because no matter how well-meaning I may be or other people, if your leadership, the chair of your group, the person who's in charge, doesn't really mean it, isn't out there with, what's the word, neshama, soul, Jimmy has it. And that really enables us to do what we have to do at this time. I took a tour here today, and thank you to both communities for spending our money in the right way. I've got the evidence. This man has not stopped following me. But he's smiling. But we have been able to show all the people back home that there is a true accountability for what has been done here. And you know what? If you don't show that, and you're not able to show people and say, hey, this is real, it's dollars and cents, and it's been spent in the right way, that's really the right way to do this in terms of your people keeping track and making it easier for us. That will enable us to go home and hopefully do a good job. So thank you very much for everything that you've done. One more.
He's the commander of the force. His name is Guy Mashiach.
I'm going to turn 21.
Vulcan.
Hello.
Nice to see you. It's wonderful to have you here, really. I'm so excited about this.
So are we. So are we.
They have all the various heating lamps and all the equipment and everything is very modular, so it's very convenient to work. This is optimal nowadays for treatment. Obviously, when it was built, it wasn't intended to be for major trauma, so we had 3 beds. Basically, it's built for 3 patients, but it can take more because you can put 2 patients in a unit, stands here, and we have stands on the other side.
No, it's failure. Yeah, the pump.
It's on the other side.
Hi. Now, I'm in front of your ambulance. I'm in front of your ambulance. I'm in front of your ambulance. No. Presented to the people of Israel by the Leonard Rudolph family of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., USA.
Take it off. Let me look this way.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I met him also at the airport. You introduced
Yes,
me. He was
when
on his
he was
way
speaking
back
to the Board of Governors, standing on the bus.
Yes, we were on the bus. I don't remember like, but I remember because he's
You just
good looking
came back
people
from
like
the
this
States.
we don't meet so
When'd
often.
you get back? Today? This morning. You were there for what, 24 hours?
This is the valley, the
Yeah.
there. Over there, the houses of Ramallah. This is Ramallah. All those is Ramallah.
So where's the occupied territory?
The occupied territory.
Ramallah's in the
Ramallah is the occupied territory. Here, it's
not.
the
It's the land between the
Atarot, the airport Atarot.
Their older son, Moshe, volunteered and the 2 of them went in.
ואז משה נכנס ראשון.
Moshe went in first.
גולן היה באיזה אלונקק, באיזה מיטה כזאת, שוכב, מכוסה כולו בלבן.
And there was Golan lying on a stretcher,
חוץ מהפנים.
covered with a white sheet except for his face.
אני כבר הייתי בהרגשה שזה גולן.
I knew already that it was Golan.
לפי האינפורמציה שנתן הפתולוג, ידעתי שזה סתם הצגה וצריכים רק לזהות אותו.
He says that, according from what the pathologist said, he knew that this was part of the process and that it was just an issue of formally identifying him.
נכנסתי אני, ראיתי את הפנים שלו כמעט והתעלפתי.
He said, when I saw his face, I nearly fainted.
חיבקתי אותו בראש בעורף כאן.
He said, I hugged the back of his head.
נתתי לו נשיקה.
I kissed him.
כשהוצאתי את היד מכאן, כל היד שלי דם.
When I took my hand away, it was covered.
בו הוא קיבל את המכה וקיבל גם הלב.
He was hit in the back of his head.
From our community, just
משהו שמסמל בעינינו את החשיבות.
חי למעלה.
Yes.
He's alive up there, he said.
Yes.
That's why it's so important you brought it.
Very nice. Very nice. זה יהיה בחדר של גולן.
We will put it in Golan's room because he's alive.